Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be taking you on my journey of losing 65 pounds. But the best part of that is we kept off the 65 pounds for over 10 years. So here's some tips that you too can follow in order to lose weight and become healthy and also keep that weight off. So the first thing we have to understand before we get into 10 tips on how I did what I did, you need to first understand that you have to burn fat. If you're overweight, you need to burn fat. Now, you need to burn fat, and that's the only way you're going to get that fat off your body. Your body, however, is designed to burn fat naturally, and you don't need any drugs or magic pills. You don't need to spend hours in the gym to do it. And this is what I'm going to share with you today on how I actually did it. Now, this first slide here is actually me. Yes, that's me about 13 years ago in 2010, 240 pounds. And it's not a pretty sight. Well, it was actually pretty devastating feeling to be 240 pounds carrying an extra 6 to 7 bowling balls on your body. That's a lot of work. So it didn't only cause me to be overweight, look overweight, but what happens, it came with all of these medical issues. And yes, that's a low vitamin D count. So the doctor prescribed vitamin D 50,000 units, Crestor for cholesterol, metformin. I'm sure diabetics know what metformin is, and that is for diabetes. And that is not a pretty sight because this medication actually packs on more weight onto your body. Ramapril, yes, that is for high blood pressure. Synthroid for thyroid issues, and also allergies. So being overweight is not just being overweight. If you're overweight for long enough, it actually causes metabolic problems and all of these 10, 15 different issues that could actually happen to you. And that is what we need to decide today. You can decide tomorrow, or you could decide today that I will no longer be on these pills, medications. That is not the way to have a healthy lifestyle. And I decided right then and there, after being prescribed all these medications and going and spend thousands of dollars to get the pills, that this, after 2 weeks for me, is not for me. So I decided to make a change. So what I decided to do was to get outdoors more. And again, this is all trial and error at this time. If you knew what I know today, 10 years ago, this would be a much faster process. And this is how you guys are going to be benefiting from this program, because I've lived it for the last 13 years and I know exactly what works for me. And in 90% of the cases, it's going to work for you. Obviously, we're all a little bit different, but trial and error. This is 10 basic tips on what will pretty much work for anyone that tries this program. Now, so I made a decision to be healthy. So the first thing I did was I hit the gym. Like everyone else, you hit the gym. I decided to do some 30-minute walks per day. And that got me some results. It didn't do a whole lot for me because of what? The reason I was, yes, let me show you that photo again. The reason I was overweight is not because I wasn't working out or moving or anything else like that. It is because of your lifestyle. So this is not a diet. This is not something you do when you say diet. You go on it for what? 30 days. I'm going to go on a diet for 30 days. And what happens after 30 days? What am I going to do? Go back to the doing the things that got me overweight and fat in the first place? No, you don't want to do that. You want to have a lifestyle change. So what does that mean? That means you have a lifestyle change where you change your lifestyle so you live it for the rest of your life healthy and never have to be on a diet, because it's just you doing healthy things on a daily basis. So I'm going to show you now how to lose, or how I lost this 65 pounds, and I've kept it off for 10 years. Now, the first thing, tip number one for the lifestyle change, is do not eat GMO, genetically modified food, and processed foods. Processed foods, the list is so long. I'm sure we all know what processed foods are right now. Look it up, Google it. But no GMO foods, modified foods. Corn, heavily genetically modified food. You do not want to eat GMOs, processed foods. So tip number one is to stay away from those foods. So what we did is we cut out all processed foods and only ate whole foods, real foods, things that were actually natural for your body to process. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is cut out sugar, because what happens with the diabetes is the sugar that actually, and it turns into glucose in your body, and your body could only use so much of that for energy, and then it stores and activates that insulin to go all way up in your body, and it activates your fat storage cells, which actually start to store all of this extra sugar into fat. And that is not fun, because all it does is gets you fatter and fatter on a daily basis. So you got to cut off sugar. The problem that I realized is, and I made that mistake, and I'm sure a lot of you do too as well, when you decide to cut out sugar, we don't know what is actually sugar. We think it's actually cutting out sugar. I'll have tea with no sugar and I'm being healthy. But then we go eat grapes, we go eat fruits. That's all sugar. So if you're diabetic, you can't afford to add any added sugars into your diet. Now, if you're not diabetic and you're pretty much healthy and just overweight, you could still consume sugar, right? No, because the sugar activates the fat. And remember slide number one, you could burn fat. You have to burn fat. You cannot burn fat if you're taking in insulin and raising your insulin levels. You're taking in sugar to raise your insulin levels. And like I said on the slide here, fruit juices, sweet sodas, and most importantly, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates enter your body. It turns into glucose very, very fast within the hour, and then it activates the fat cells. It's the same makeup of sugar, and it does exactly the same thing. So what your body is stuck doing is burning carbohydrates all day long. You never burn fat, and you might eat less, you might eat whatever you're doing, you're not going to burn fat because you're continually feeding yourself with carbohydrates. So what is the carbohydrates? Bread, rice, pasta, it's things you don't want to, and lighter here that you need to cut out, but you need to cut it out on your healthy lifestyle, because those things, especially if you're diabetic, is actually adding sugar into your diet, and that is what you want to cut out if you want to lower your A1C and drop it from, I believe I was 7.6, and now it's 5.4. So that is what you want to do. No sugar intake into your diet whatsoever. Carbohydrates, some things you're going to eat is going to have, but make sure it's low carb, and you want to keep that to less than 50 grams a day if you want to not take in too much sugar to prevent that fat loss. Remember, we want to eat healthy, and we want to burn fat. So make your body a fat burning machine, which it does naturally, but we overwhelm it with too much sugar. So cut sugar out of your diet. Tip number 3 here is control your portion size. So because you're eating healthy now, you're eating all the proper foods, that doesn't mean you're going to take your plate or your bowl and you're going to just fill it to capacity and just continually eating it. No, you want to eat until you're full, and that's it. So portion sizes. So what are you going to eat? You're not eating fruits. You're not eating pastas, rice, grains, and stuff like that. So what are you going to eat? You're going to eat meats and vegetables. Yes, proper meats, not meats with antibiotics and stuff. You want to get the grass-fed beef, for example. You want to get, if you're eating bacon without nitrates in it. and eat your vegetables. 2 to 3 times a day you could have your meals, but portion size is very important. Do not overeat. So you want to consume less food, or just a normal size plate of food, not what you're used to be eating and that cause you to be overweight in the first place. Remember, in order to make this change, you got to stop doing what made you sick. You got to stop doing what added the weight onto your body. That makes sense? Okay. So tip number 4. Well, you need to read and understand food labels before you buy it. I checked my pantry and everything had sugar, carbohydrates, loaded up amounts of sugar. You got to cut out the sodas. You got to cut out the rice, even the beans, legumes. You want to cut out the red beans, the garbanzo beans, and everything else that is full in carbohydrates, because it's just causing you to burn carbs and not burn what? Not burn fat. You're supposed to be getting your energy off the fat stored in your body. We have too much stored. When we lose the weight, we get to a normal and a healthy weight, I should say. Then you could have a little bit of all of these things, but now you've learned your lifestyle to not have it in excess. So again, read and understand food labels before you buy it. Check for carbohydrates and sugar amounts, and then there's also added sugar amounts. Read the ingredient list. The ingredient should be just the item. The ingredient, not an ingredient with 15 other things added to it that makes that one healthy ingredient unhealthy. So check for hidden unhealthy items. Tip number 5, eat only healthy snacks. So a handful of assorted nuts between meals is fine. Dark chocolate, celery. If you could get away with eating no snacks between meals, that would be fantastic. So you have your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. You don't want to eat obviously too late, 3-4 hours before you go to sleep. You want to cut off the food. But again, healthy snacks in between, as long as it's healthy and what your portion size is, it should not be a problem. And with all of these little changes, you have a huge impact on your weight loss. Get moving. Yes, you need to get moving. You need to walk, and all of these exercises, approximately 30 minutes a day. You need to take a walk. It doesn't have to be strenuous walk. You don't have to be running. Walk, stretch. If you don't want to go outside and walk, get on a treadmill. If you don't want to walk one day, you alternate it. You stretch one day, but you need to keep moving. Remember, you want to burn fat and not muscle. Strenuous, high intensity exercises start burning muscle because you're not eating the carbs, so it's going to burn muscle. You want to do low intensity exercises so you continually burn fat without having to go into muscle, and train your body to burn fat. And once it's a fat burning machine, trust me, you're going to keep that weight off. Now, you want to get 6 to 8 hours sleep. I know most people recommend 8 to 10 hours sleep, but with a busy lifestyle, a lot of us have a lot of things to do. 6 hours sleep is pretty good. You're going to get enough rest. You're going to, trust me, lose weight. You're going to start sleeping better, and you're going to start feeling better about life. So you got to get your rest, because your rest is what actually helps you lose some weight as well. If you could sleep for 10 hours, sleep for 10 hours. Guess what? You're going to lose even more weight, because your body is burning fat, and it is going to do so while you sleep. So that's not a problem. Check your progress daily. That's right. Check your progress on a daily basis. How do you know if you ate something terrible today and it affected you? First thing, as soon as you get up in the morning, you use the toilet and you hop on the scale. Check your progress. Write it down to make a note of it. And if you have diabetes or high blood pressure, you want to check your blood pressure level and your glucose level with those meters, A1C meters, or your diabetic meters. You want to check that on a daily basis to make sure you're on making progress. Remember, success happens when you're making progress, and then that keeps you motivated. If you have success and you lost a little today, That keeps you motivated to continue on the program and continue doing what you did to get you that little increase in success. And that just multiplies during the week. So check your weight, check your pressure level, check your blood glucose level on a daily basis, and take notes on your progress. Now, drinks are also very important, not just what you eat, but what you drink. And what I did is I changed from all of the sodas, the carbonated beverages, and I just stuck to purified water. Yes, not tap water. Even if I'm making my tea or coffee, it's purified water. I'm not using anything from the taps that are contaminated. So you want to get purified water. Teas, sugar, no sugar. Coffee, sugar, no sugar. So you could get tea with a little cream in it, or coffee with a little cream, but no added sugar. And when I say cream, I mean heavy whipping cream that has 0 sugar in it. 0 sugar. So if you want to add cream, 0 added sugar in that cream. So make sure you have your tea, just tea, which is the best way to drink tea anyway, nothing added to it, and coffee, black. But if you need to add a touch of something, heavy cream, which has no sugar in it. Now, tip number 10 is we need to get help. If you cannot do it on your own, get some help. Call me so we get a personalized plan specific to your needs and your lifestyle, and I'll help you with that. But you need to get help. You need someone, if you cannot do it on your own, to motivate you to stay on track, to keep the results in check, to keep daily progress, and to make sure that if you hit a roadblock and you hit a way that you cannot overcome, there may be a little change that you need to make. And I'm telling you, I know what changes you need to make so that you never hit a roadblock in the program. So feel free, don't be shy, give me a call and we get healthy. Now I'm going to put up my card right here. So if you want to lose weight, reverse type 2 diabetes, because I'm no longer 240 pounds, I'm 175 pounds, reverse type 2 diabetes, no more diabetes for me, no more medications at all. My blood pressure is normal now. There's no more high blood pressure, no pre-hypertension or anything else like that. So guys, I hope you like and enjoyed the video, the tips. Reach out and so we could talk to you one-on-one. Goal this year is to help at least 1,000 people get on track to being healthy and living a healthy lifestyle. Don't forget to like, share with your friends this video so that you could get them on track as well. You need to have your loved ones around you for as long as possible, and hopefully we can do that together. And remember now, work less, play more, enjoy life, and live a healthy lifestyle. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.